So let's talk about men and women, everyone's favorite topic. So, why is it so hard, huh? Why is it so hard, all this uh, man and woman relationships? What's going on? What is the problem? Has it always been this way? Has it become worse? Has it become better? All these questions, let's try to see them real quick. Hopefully I won't make such a long video. I don't want my videos to be too long. But see, when you look at it, the woman is always the host. The man is the guest. So, who's better? Who has more importance? Is it the host or the guest? If the host is a great host but doesn't have a guest, we can't really call them a host. They're preparing the house, the party, the whatever, the food for the guest, and then the guest doesn't show up. Can we still call that a good host? Well, probably, but something is missing, right? It's not complete. To be a host, you need to host, be able to host and receive. And the guest, well, the guest is, you know, he's not the host, but what makes a good guest? See, what makes a good guest? Everyone knows. Everyone wants the guest. Everyone wants to know who their guest is. You see, when you have a party and someone invites someone that you don't know, you feel a little bit strange about it at first, right? Especially if you don't know anything about this person. You're kind of like on your guard, right? So who do you want to invite to your intimate space, to your home, and eat your food and breathe your air? You always want to invite someone you admire. You always want to invite someone you respect. Someone you have high esteem for, right? The guest doesn't care about the high esteem of the host. They just want to be welcomed in a proper way. They want to feel at home. They want to enjoy whatever is offered to them at home. They just want to feel at home, when they are invited. So no one would want to invite a stranger home. They don't know if they're criminal, they don't know if they're abusive, they don't know if they're... See, so women invite men into their lives. Not only into their lives, even into their bodies. And into their emotions and everything. But even on the physical aspect, we can see this, right? The woman always receives the man and not the other way around. So the man always is the guest. He comes and gives himself to the woman. Or, as we say, penetrates, right? Comes in. Because he's the guest. So the host and the guest. It's nothing but this, if we want to make it really simple. It's about being the host and being the guest. So, having said this, if you are the guest, I'm talking to men now, if you are the guest, and you know that you're a good person, you know that you're respectful, you know that you're kind, you know that you're interesting to talk to, you know all these things about you. And you want to be invited, right? You want to be invited to someone's house who has a nice party that you want to be part of, or or someone you want to get close to. But they're the ones inviting you. They're not coming to your house. You're coming to their house. They are the host. So even though you know all these good things about yourself, you always want to make a good impression, right? That's why a woman, it doesn't matter if the man looks good. As the host, she wants to know her guest. She wants to know who she's bringing into her space, into her home. So that's why the attraction is not the same between man and woman. Man is attracted to outer beauty. If he sees a nice house, a nice image, nice food, nice place, he would want to go there. But he forgets that the host does not know him. He forgets that even if the guest knows him and said hi, they don't really know him yet. They haven't really felt him yet to be comfortable enough to receive him. So you should always keep this in mind. The woman with her body is the host, and the man with his body is the guest. Of course, the guest can unite with the host and they can live happily ever after, but there's always this dynamic, especially in the beginning, where being invited is not about imposing yourself. You never impose yourself when you're invited, right? Even if you want to be invited and you impose yourself or try to get in through someone else, and you do get in, but the host still doesn't feel comfortable with you. Maybe you'd get in there and you would eat their food and it would make them feel uncomfortable. But when you are invited, now this is something totally different. The energy is completely different when you're invited. And the only thing you need to be invited is for you to be known, to show yourself, to show who you are, to show what you are about. This is why, these things are not taught. Men are just taught to chase women. You don't chase women just like you don't chase a host to invite you. If you want to be invited, you have to earn it. You have to shine in a way. And that's what women are attracted to. That's why women are attracted to mentality more than looks. Of course, looks are always good too. I'm not saying they're not, but they are more attracted to mentality, to integrity, all these things that make them feel safe enough to invite you into their home. Once they feel safe, they will be fighting you to come over, So, guys, instead of chasing women, I've never really been a woman chaser in that sense. Never really have been. I tried it a few times in my life, but it never really stuck with me because I never really felt like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I mean, you do want to show yourself. You do want to be noticed somehow, for sure. But chasing is not the way. Chasing is, the more a guest chases a host, the more the host will not want to invite him. And this is what's happening between men and women. Now, the men don't understand this. They think they have to chase, and the woman just has to, to submit. But that's not how it goes. The feminine energy always needs to invite, and you got to give her what she needs in order for her to want to invite you. So make them feel good. Make them feel good and safe around you. And just give a good impression. Be on your best state, Be honest. Everything that's positive is good. It will ease things. It will break barriers. Those kind of barriers are not to be broken by force. The more you, just imagine if you're the one, who is the host. Someone is trying to get into your house forcefully. Are you gonna be like, hey man, why are you trying to get in forcefully, man? Here, I'll open the door for you. Come in. That rarely happens, right? Never happens. The more someone forcefully wants to come in, even if you don't really have a problem with them, but just seeing them forcefully coming in makes you not want to have them inside. Now, when you feel connected to them, now you want them around you. Now you will invite them. And of course, now it's a beautiful thing. Now we can say that there is a host and there is a guest. But for a host and a guest to exist as man and woman, as they naturally are, See, even animals do this. The male often just gets recognized, does some kind of show, shows something off, shows what he has, shows what he's capable of. And then the woman chooses, okay, yeah, I want him. Because that comes from her feeling. When she wants him, then that's it. She invited him over. She invited him in. Now her guard is down. So that's how you become accepted by a woman. You don't get accepted by forcing yourself in. I know it can be frustrating to some people to hear this. I'm talking about people who have always been rejected and always been like they've had so much rejection that they're kind of frustrated, so now that's where the forcing is coming in. I understand that, but that just makes things a lot worse, and you don't want them to get a whole lot worse before you understand the lesson. The lesson is just to understand how things work. Understand that nothing is to be forced, especially relationships. I mean, you can talk about certain things, like if you're a prisoner and you have to force yourself out of the prison or things like that. I mean, that's understandable, but a relationship is very delicate. Is a very delicate thing. All delicate things of life, if you try to handle them with force, they're just gonna break. They're not gonna survive, so yep, that's what men and women need to understand. And the woman needs to understand too that she has to be a good host in order to get or receive a good man. She should not just demand from the man to be good and her not being a good host. She has to attract him somehow.